Hello and welcome to Quiz Class. My name is Ellen. I'll be your host today, and we will be looking at 100 questions on the 1970s. Let's take a look at our Quiz Class awards and our categories for today. Picture questions, true or false, music, movies, television, and history. So let's begin with picture questions. Which iconic song dominated the charts in the 1970s? Like a Virgin, Stayin' Alive, or Wannabe? Stayin' Alive. What revolutionized how people watched movies and TV shows? Blu-ray movies, home video recorders, or DVD players? Home video recorders. What music genre challenged the status quo in the mid-70s with its raw energy and DIY ethos? Classical music, jazz, or punk rock? Punk rock. What political scandal led to President Richard Nixon's resignation in 1974? Watergate, election of Robert Mugabe, or protests in Times Square? The Watergate scandal. Which early model is considered the foundation for the personal computer revolution in the 70s? Altair 8800, Apple II, or IBM One? The Altair 8800. What remarkable achievement in space exploration occurred in the 70s? First manned mission to the moon, the launch of Voyager 1 and Voyager 2, or the discovery of a new planet? The launch of Voyager 1 and Voyager 2. Which of these was introduced in the 70s? Laptops, mobile cellular phone, or touch screens? Mobile cellular phone. What technology became more common in the 70s, changing how people access their money? ATM machines, credit cards, or online banking? ATM machines. What fashion trends were characteristic of the 70s? Miniskirts and turtlenecks, platform shoes and bell-bottom pants, or skinny jeans and crop tops? Platform shoes and bell-bottom pants. Which iconic sitcom aired throughout the 70s? Friends, The Brady Bunch, or Seinfeld? The Brady Bunch. In which year was Star Wars released, becoming a cultural phenomenon? 1970, 1977, or it was not released during the 1970s? (1977). What simple video game became a massive hit in the 70s, marking the beginning of the video game industry? Minecraft, Pac-Man, or Pong? Pong. Which boxer reclaimed the heavyweight championship in the Rumble in the Jungle in 1974? Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, or Floyd Mayweather? Muhammad Ali. What tragic event marred the 1972 Munich Olympics? The equipment malfunction, a natural disaster, or terrorist attack on the Israeli team? Terrorist attack on the Israeli team. Which year saw a record-breaking heat wave sweep across the United States, causing 900 deaths? 1972, 1977, or 1979? 1972. And let's move over to true or false. Unlike today, cigarette commercials were frequently shown on television and in periodicals in the 1970s. This is true. The world's fascination with the brain-twisting Rubik's Cube began in 1979 when it was invented. False, it was in 1974. A peculiar movement known as pet potatoes swept the nation in 1975. People paid to have ordinary potatoes packed for pets. False, it was pet rocks. The 1970s saw a surge in the women's liberation movement, which resulted in important social and legal reforms for women. True. Throughout the decade, environmental issues gained prominence, with events like Earth Day serving as a catalyst for change. This is true. In the 1970s, citizens' band radios gained popularity as a means of communication for civilians over short distances. This is true. The invention of the microchip transformed technology and made computers more compact but less efficient. This is false. They became more efficient. The legendary comedy program Saturday Night Live debuted in 1975 and helped numerous comedians launch their careers. This is true. A popular television series that centered on a cruise ship and its passengers, The Yellow Submarine, was a mainstay of 1970s television. False, that was The Love Boat. A popular action-adventure, the Charlie's Angels series with 4 female detectives, garnered a lot of viewership. False, it was 3 lady detectives. The bicentennial in 1976, a number of events and memorials were held to mark the United States' 300th anniversary. False, it was the 200th anniversary. The Oakland Athletics baseball team, which won 8 straight World Series titles, was the dominant force in Major League Baseball in the early 70s. False, they only won 3 straight World Series titles. Introduced in the 1970s, the Bic lighter is a disposable lighter that has gained popularity worldwide. This is true. The majority agree that the Ford Cortina was the best-selling automobile model of the 1970s, especially in Europe. True or false? This is true. MASH is often cited as a cultural touchstone. This comedic drama tackled serious issues with humor. This is true. And let's move over to 1970s music. For question 31, which genre of music gained popularity in the 70s with a focus on longer tracks and conceptual albums? Album-oriented rock, disco-oriented rock, or soul-oriented electro-pop? Album-oriented rock. What type of concerts became popular in the 70s featuring acts like The Who and Pink Floyd? Acoustic sessions, intimate club shows, or stadium concerts? Stadium concerts. Which band experimented with music videos in the 70s even though the format was still in its infancy? Nirvana, the Beatles, or the Smashing Pumpkins? The Beatles. Which genre of music saw the rise of bands like Pink Floyd, Yes, and Genesis in the 1970s? Disco, hard rock, or progressive rock? Progressive rock. Which band dominated the hard rock scene in the 70s? Aerosmith, Bee Gees, or Bob Dylan? Aerosmith. Which movie's soundtrack featuring the Bee Gees propelled disco into the mainstream? Dirty Dancing, Grease, or Saturday Night Fever? Saturday Night Fever. Which artist released classic albums under the Motown label in the 1970s? Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson, or Elton John? Stevie Wonder. Who defined the funky sound of the 70s with hits like Superbad? James Brown, Marvin Gaye, or Prince? James Brown. Which artist brought country music to a wider audience in the 70s with hits like Jolene, released in 1973? Carly Simon, Dolly Parton, or Stevie Nicks? Dolly Parton. Who introduced reggae to the world with hits like No Woman, No Cry in the 70s? Bob Marley, Burning Spear, or Peter Tosh? Bob Marley. Which glam rock band embraced flamboyant fashion and theatrical performances in the 70s? David Bowie, Led Zeppelin, or the Rolling Stones? David Bowie. Which iconic album by Pink Floyd is considered one of the greatest of all time? Dark Side of the Moon, Rumors, or What's Going On? Dark Side of the Moon. Which Queen song is a 6-minute epic that remains a timeless classic? I Will Survive, Don't Stop Me Now, or Bohemian Rhapsody? Bohemian Rhapsody. Which Eagles song continues to be a radio staple? Don't Stop Me Now, Hotel California, or I Will Survive? Hotel California. Which Marvin Gaye album is a socially conscious masterpiece that addressed issues of the time? Blue, Dark Side of the Moon, or What's Going On? What's Going On? And let's go to 70s movies. Who directed the space opera that revolutionized filmmaking? Francis Ford Coppola, George Lucas, or Steven Spielberg? George Lucas. Which film launched Robert De Niro's career and explored themes of isolation and alienation? Apocalypse Now, Jaws, or Taxi Driver? Taxi Driver. Which film redefined the concept of a blockbuster with massive marketing campaigns? Jaws, Star Wars, or The Godfather? Jaws. Who directed Apocalypse Now, that is visually stunning and emotionally powerful? Steven Spielberg, Martin Scorsese, or Francis Ford Coppola? Francis Ford Coppola. Which film saw a surge in box office revenue? Indie films, documentaries, or blockbusters? So which films saw a surge in box office revenue? Blockbusters. Which actor emerged as a leading figure in the new Hollywood stars era? Al Pacino, Brad Pitt, or Tom Hanks? Al Pacino. Who is known for redefining the decade's cinematic landscape as a director? Christopher Nolan, Martin Scorsese, or Quentin Tarantino? Martin Scorsese. Which actor became an icon of the blaxploitation genre in the 70s? Julia Roberts, Meryl Streep, or Pam Grier? Pam Grier. Which disaster film capitalized on audiences' fascination with disaster scenarios? Jurassic Park, The Towering Inferno, or The Titanic? The Towering Inferno. Which genre gained popularity with films like Halloween and Friday the 13th? Horror films, musicals, or romantic comedies? Horror films. Which film became a symbol of hope and determination? Saturday Night Fever, Star Wars, or Rocky? Rocky. Which film captured the neurotic spirit of the times? Annie Hall, In Cold Blood, or The Exorcist? Annie Hall. Which film is a powerful drama about divorce and parenting in the 70s? North by Northwest, Kramer versus Kramer, or Alien? Kramer versus Kramer. Which film reflected the counterculture movement in the 70s? The Graduate, Easy Rider, or Cabaret? Easy Rider. Which film dominated the Oscars in 1973? The Godfather, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, or Star Wars? The Godfather. And let's move over to television for our next category. What type of show was The Mary Tyler Moore Show? A historical drama, a sci-fi thriller, or a show featuring an independent working woman? A show featuring an independent working woman. What became increasingly influential in determining a show's success? Critic reviews, Nielsen ratings, or viewer polls? Nielsen ratings. Which show was a nostalgic coming-of-age comedy set in the 50s? Dr. Strangelove, From Russia with Love, or Happy Days? Happy Days. Which show featured a controversial yet influential portrayal of social issues starring Jean Stapleton? Dr. Strangelove, All in the Family, or Zorba the Greek? All in the Family. Who was known for producing popular primetime dramas like Charlie's Angels and Dynasty? Aaron Spelling, Brian Eno, or Roy Thomas Baker? Aaron Spelling. Which TV personality hosted iconic shows like American Bandstand? Dan Treacy, Dick Clark, or Joe Heed? Dick Clark. Who was a prolific producer responsible for groundbreaking shows like All in the Family and Maude? Jack Webb, Quinn Martin, or Norman Lear? Norman Lear. Which genre of television shows became household names with shows like Family Feud and Wheel of Fortune? Crime dramas, game shows, or variety shows? Game shows. How did reruns of popular shows in the 70s extend their lifespan? Crossover episodes, spin-off series, or syndication? Syndication. Which family drama in the 70s was based on Laura Ingalls Wilder's books? Little House on the Prairie, $6 Million Man, or The Love Boat? Little House on the Prairie. What was $6 Million Man about? A medical drama, a science fiction series about a cyborg, or a legal thriller about a smart lawyer? A science fiction series about a cyborg. What was I Dream of Jeannie about? A mystery thriller about a missing person, a historical drama about ancient civilizations, or a sitcom about a genie and her astronaut owner? A sitcom about a genie and her owner. What was the spin-off of Happy Days following the lives of two working-class women, Laverne and Shirley, Good Times, or Sanford and Son? Laverne and Shirley. Who starred as a female police officer in the groundbreaking show Policewoman? Angie Dickinson, Meryl Streep, or Valerie Harper? Angie Dickinson. Which superhero series featured the iconic Amazonian warrior? The Bionic Man, the Feminine Hulk, or Wonder Woman? Wonder Woman. And let's move over to history. Which event caused economic and political upheaval worldwide in 1973? The feminist movement, the oil crisis, or the Watergate scandal? The oil crisis. What was the period of eased tensions between the US and the Soviet Union called? The Cuban Missile Crisis, Detente, or Summer of the Cold War? Detente. What combination of economic issues plagued many countries during the 70s? Affiliation, inflation, stagflation? Stagflation. What movement influenced fashion, music, and attitudes towards society? Gay liberation, counterculture, or the civil rights movement? Counterculture. Which event marked the beginning of a protracted conflict in the 70s? Falkland Islands War, the Afghan Revolution, or the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan? The Soviet invasion of Afghanistan. Which organization gained significant influence over the global oil market? OPEC, Earth Day, or Global Oil? OPEC. Which conflict erupted between Argentina and the UK in 1982? The Falkland Islands War, the Argentinian Revolution, or Argentina's invasion of the United Kingdom? The Falkland Islands War. What event overthrew the monarchy and established an Islamic republic in 1979? The Iranian Revolution, the abolishment of slavery, or Earth Day? The Iranian Revolution. Which global event led to movements like Earth Day? Consumerism, environmentalism, or socialism? Environmentalism. What event marked the end of the Vietnam War in 1975? The establishment of Saigon, the fall of Saigon, or registration of Saigon as a capital? The fall of Saigon. Which president brokered peace agreements between Egypt and Israel in the Camp David Accords? Ronald Reagan, Richard Nixon, or Jimmy Carter? Jimmy Carter. What event raised concerns about nuclear safety due to a power plant accident in Pennsylvania? The Chernobyl disaster, the energy crisis, or the 3 Mile Island accident? The 3 Mile Island accident. What music and dance culture dominated the mid to late 70s? Disco, jazz, or soul? Disco. What event continued to have cultural and political impact in the 70s despite occurring in 1969? The fall of the Berlin Wall, the moon landing, or the Sharpeville massacre? The moon landing. How long were the 52 Americans held hostage during the Iranian hostage crisis in 1979? 32 days, 128 days, or 444 days? 444 days. And let's move over to our mystery round. Which Queen song is an upbeat anthem that still gets people dancing? Don't Stop Me Now, How Deep Is Your Love, or Superstition? Don't Stop Me Now. Which Aretha Franklin song is a powerful feminist anthem that remains relevant today? Night Fever, September, or Respect? Respect. Which Gloria Gaynor song is an empowering disco anthem that continues to inspire? Bridge Over Troubled Water, I Will Survive, or Rocket Man? I Will Survive. Which film expanded the possibilities of filmmaking with advancements in special effects and cinematography? Annie Hall, Rocky, or Star Wars? Star Wars. What was the spin-off of The $6 Million Man featuring a female cyborg? The Bionic Woman, the Cyborg, or Cyber Woman? The Bionic Woman. Besides Laverne and Shirley, which other Happy Days spin-off was there? Family, Joni Loves Chachi, or Dallas? Joni Loves Chachi. Which comedy series was about a struggling radio station in Cincinnati? All Creatures Great and Small, Play for Today, or WKRP in Cincinnati? WKRP in Cincinnati. Who launched a surprise attack on Israel in 1973? Egypt, Syria, or both? Both. Which event in the 70s led to the Iranian Revolution in 1979? Economic prosperity and political stability, the rise of Islamic fundamentalism, or both? The rise of Islamic fundamentalism. Which country experienced a military coup in 1973, leading to a period of dictatorship? Chile, Brazil, or Argentina? Chile? And for our bonus question, what type of vehicle was the Concorde, known for its extreme speed? Let us know the answer in the comments, and of course, how well you did with our Einstein rewards. Tell us how you did in the comments. And as always, thanks for playing this quiz. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. We will see you next time. Bye-bye.